It's 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. The dishes are done, the TV is off, you're sitting on opposite ends of the couch, scrolling through your phones, and the silence isn't peaceful. It's heavy. It feels like there's a glass wall between you. You look at her, and she looks fine, calm, distant, and suddenly a cold knot forms in your stomach. Is this it? Is this what forever feels like? Does she even see me anymore? Am I just a roommate with benefits now? Did I miss the exit sign? You aren't imagining it, but here is the truth that will change how you see every interaction from this moment forward. She didn't pull away because she stopped loving you. She pulled away because she stopped feeling safe enough to be messy. Most people think love is about grand gestures or constant passion. It's not. It's about nervous system regulation. When safety leaves the room, intimacy goes underground. You aren't failing at love. This isn't a sign you chose the wrong person. Every couple that has ever built something real has stood exactly where you are standing right now, wondering if the spark is gone for good. By the end of this video, you will know the exact psychological signal that proves she is still deeply, fiercely in love with you, even when she seems distant. You'll learn how to spot it, how to respond to it, and how to turn that moment of distance into the deepest connection you've ever had. Let's get into it. Before we talk about the specific sign, we need to fix the lens you're looking through. Because if you get this wrong, you'll miss the signal entirely. She is consistently open, consistently affectionate, and consistently easy to read. They think love looks like a smooth, upward line of happiness. But the real truth is much deeper and, frankly, much more human. Love doesn't disappear when things get hard. It just changes its language. When a woman is truly invested in a long-term future with you, her nervous system begins to treat you as her primary attachment figure. That means you become the person who holds her deepest vulnerabilities, her darkest fears, and her most irrational anxieties. And here's the part no one talks about. Vulnerability is terrifying. So when she shares something raw with you, something ugly, shameful, or fearful, she isn't testing you. She isn't trying to push you away. Her brain is quietly registering. If he can hold this part of me, he can hold all of me. What looks like withdrawal is often just overwhelm. What looks like criticism is often a plea for reassurance. When safety leaves the relationship, the love doesn't vanish. It goes into protection mode. She stops sharing because she's afraid that if she shows you the cracked parts, you'll leave. So if you've been feeling like you're walking on eggshells or that she's holding back, it's not because she doesn't care. It's because she cares so much that the stakes feel incredibly high. Understanding this shifts everything. It moves you from trying to fix her mood to trying to restore her sense of safety. And that brings us to the specific thing she shares when she is deeply, irrevocably in love. Here are the 5 specific signals. Not the surface level stuff, the deep structural stuff. First, pay attention to the shame confession. Most couples spend years curating their best selves for each other. We hide our jealousy, our insecurities, and our petty thoughts because we're afraid they'll make us look unattractive or unstable. But here is the deeper truth. Intimacy isn't built on perfection. It's built on the relief of being known. When she shares a part of herself she believes is unlovable, a deep insecurity, a past mistake she's ashamed of, or an irrational fear, she is handing you the keys to her inner world. Her nervous system is screaming, "Please don't reject me," while her heart is saying, "I trust you enough to try." Imagine this contrast. In the disconnecting version, she hints at feeling insecure about her body. You say, "Don't be silly, you look great," and change the subject. She feels dismissed. Her brain registers, "He doesn't want to deal with my darkness." But in the connecting version, she says, "I feel really ugly today, and it's making me withdraw." You put your phone down. You look at her. You say, "Thank you for telling me. I'm here. You don't have to perform for me." Her brain whispers, "He actually saw me, and he stayed." That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. Second, listen for the vulnerable what if. Most people avoid talking about the future when they're anxious because they don't want to seem needy or controlling. They keep it light. They keep it safe. But when she is deeply in love, she isn't just planning a life with you, she's terrified of losing it. So she shares her fears about the future. Not as complaints, but as invitations to co-create security. She's checking to see if you're still in the boat with her. This isn't nagging, this is attachment seeking. Here's how it plays out. In the disconnecting version, she asks, "Do you think we'll still be happy in 10 years?" You laugh it off. Who knows? Let's just enjoy today. She feels alone in her longing for stability. But in the connecting version, she asks, I'm scared we'll drift apart like our parents did. You pause. You validate the fear. That makes sense. I don't want that either. Let's talk about what keeps us connected. Something in her exhales. We're on the same team. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. Third, notice the raw reaction. Most couples try to suppress their triggers. We think being mature means never getting upset, never overreacting, never being too much. So we numb out. But here's what nobody explains. A trigger is a map to an old wound. When she shares her trigger with you, when she admits, I got really angry when you did X because it made me feel ignored like my dad used to ignore me. She is doing the hardest work in psychology. She is connecting the present to the past. She is asking you to understand her history, not just her behavior. Look at the difference. In the disconnecting version, she snaps at you for being late. You defend yourself. I was only 5 minutes late. The fight becomes about time. But in the connecting version, later, she comes back. I'm sorry I snapped. When you're late, my brain goes to, I don't matter. It's an old wound. You listen. You don't defend. You say, I hear you. I want you to know you matter. What's moving through her is, I forgot how good it feels to be chosen. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Fourth, respect the honest boundary. Most people think that if someone loves you, they want to be with you 24/7. So when she asks for space, we panic. We think it's rejection. We chase. We demand reassurance. But in a secure, deep love, space is not a departure. It's a reset. When she shares her need for solitude, I need an hour to myself to recharge. She is trusting that the bond is strong enough to withstand her absence. She is regulating her own nervous system so she can return to you fully present. This is not pushing you away. It's preparing to come back. Here's the contrast. In the disconnecting version, she says, I need some time alone. You get anxious. Are you mad? Did I do something? She feels suffocated. Her brain says, he needs me to manage his emotions. But in the connecting version, she says, I need some time alone. You smile. Okay, take all the time you need. I'll be here when you're ready. Her nervous system settles. I am free and I am loved. And that freedom is the soil where deep desire grows back. Fifth, hear the quiet longing. Most couples stop expressing desire because they assume the other person already knows. Or worse, they're afraid of rejection. So desire becomes silent. It becomes a guess. But when she is deeply in love, she shares her longing. Not just sexual longing, but emotional longing. I miss you. I want your attention. I need to feel close to you. This is the antidote to drift. Drift happens in the silence. Connection happens in the voice. Listen to the difference. In the disconnecting version, she feels distant. She waits for you to notice. You don't. She builds resentment. Why doesn't he care? But in the connecting version, she says, I've been feeling a bit disconnected lately. I miss us. You don't get defensive. You lean in. I miss us too. Let's fix that. This isn't a communication hack. This is what it looks like when someone has learned to love without losing themselves in the process. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like work into one that feels like play. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. When you start listening for these 5 signals, the shame, the fear, the trigger, the space, and the longing, you stop reacting to the surface behavior and start responding to the soul beneath it. You stop seeing her as a puzzle to solve and start seeing her as a partner to protect. And that changes everything about what's possible between you. You become the kind of partner who doesn't just wait for love to happen, but creates the safety for it to deepen. You become the person she can finally exhale with. Remember this, real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become the safe place they've been looking for. If this resonated with you, if you felt seen in any of these points, hit that like button. It helps more people find this message. And subscribe if you're ready to build a love that lasts, not just a relationship that survives. I'll see you in the next one.